So we have about a minute left, and then we can start the stream. We'll let people join and everything.
I don't believe you, Mikey.
What?
I think you've pressed it now, and you're trying to get me to make a fool of myself.
I would never do that. Never, 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 never. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing?
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
If I was quicker earlier, you could see me shuffling my windows trying to get to the go live button.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to bring... I don't know what screen to watch you on. There's like 5 of you, Yann. I'll watch you there. Behind everybody. How is everybody?
Mikey was lying to me. Mikey was saying, yeah, we haven't got live yet. We've got about a minute.
I don't make things overly obvious, do I?
Nope. Hello, everybody. How is everybody?
I'm good. I've just having a coffee. My sleep pattern at the moment has gone completely bizarre.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's lots of,
here's a Roderick. How's Roderick? Yes, I am a bee. I'm a bee living that good life. I'm a bee living that good.
The a cappella album is still on the cards, you know.
It's still on the cards. It was one of our secret stretch goals.
But shh, don't tell anyone. Good to hear you're doing well. Yeah, so we've been busy in the last week sorting out some stuff. Busy things, yeah. Do you want to hear about them?
I mean, I've heard about them. We've been busy as
we could tell these guys, yeah?
We could tell these guys.
Yeah,
we should do that.
Why not? They've come to join us. Let's tell them all about it. Where do you want to start, Yann, tonight?
Jessica's always giving it away. We could start with... Do you want to start with Mag Racer or new courses? We haven't planned this bit. We're very...
Yeah, we're
Mikey,
totally organised.
You're less ill than I am. You do it.
I will press play and switch the screen over. So,
okay.
Yann's been busy today and putting together, would it be fair to say, a small course coming up soon?
I think it's a small course.
Yep.
How small, I don't know yet. There's a couple more things I want to put in there. But...
Yep. And we hear you all from last week about driving games, so I think after this one we might focus on a different type of game as well. But let me just move my camera over.
Like a demolition derby or something?
Yeah, totally. That's a wrecking ball simulation, by the way, not a racer.
I know a song about that.
No.
I do. Can I see your screen?
Yes, you can see my screen if I do that. So let's make this... So we've got local multiplayer. So we've got all these different cars. Obviously, the people inside the fire engine are having a bit of a disco at the moment, by the looks of things.
I'm glad you went with disco.
Yes. What else would make a car bounce up and down, Yann? Right. Moving swiftly on, I will start going around do you want to explain the differences between the cars?
Okay, so we currently have 4 cars in game. We have this little racing car, which is very, very fast and sticks to the road, and it's very low health. There's a little green bar at the top there, and every time Mikey does that, you'll see the health go down. Now he can, if he's very careful, heal his car up.
I nailed it this time. The brakes on this, the brakes.
No brake. I haven't put brakes in. You can just reverse.
Oh yes, we did say this last week though, didn't we? That the next game would be called "We Don't Have Brakes" or whatever it was.
That's right. So at the moment it's set for up to 3 laps. We've got this invisible wall that becomes visible if you get too close, so you know when you get to the edge of the map. You can go off road, as Mikey has helpfully demonstrated. The trees all have collision, and I've given the rocks collision and everything else. Mikey's now trying the fire engine, which is much heavier. Once you get it going, it's really easy to steer. It's also got very good health, not as good as the tractor. And the idea is I'm going to put in a vehicle selection, put in some more vehicles, because I've got more vehicle types to use, and let people choose their risk reward. So the racing is very much an expert car. If you think you can make it through without taking more than a couple of hits, you should drive that. If not, take something like one of the cars or the tractor, or that's an amazing piece of parking, Mikey.
We should get me to trial more games, yeah?
Wow. Exactly, Roderick. Why do you need the car? No, I need the brake. I am considering putting a respawn mechanic, but there's also one thing that happens if you take too much damage. You'll see that the fire truck is eliminated right now. Your wheels despawn, which is a handy thing to do with the way that Godot does vehicles. If we despawn the wheels, and yes, you see it lots. Basically, vehicle bodies in Godot are a special kind of rigid body that use wheels, and the wheels have the traction, and they do the steering and the suspension. And if they're not there, you can't move the car. So I thought, well, how can I despawn? How can I break the car without despawning everything? And that's my solution. I'm just gonna have it so it's just sitting there.
Look at that. That's just like a real race. And they're off. I can't steer two things at once. Oh my word.
And the wheel's gonna come off.
Okay, I've pretty much beached all the cars apart from me. Dear, they're snorted. Yeah, so that is it's a lot of fun. It's come on so much just during the course of today, really. I mean, this is much better than the prototype we saw. Well, I saw
a lot of what I've been
week.
doing is trying to figure out like the quickest way to teach how to get all these trees in, because I've got to place them all manually, but I'm placing with ways of doing clusters so that you just create a couple of different clusters and place them and rotate them. There's a lot of little tricks going on in there, but it's a pretty simple game. And really it's how to get a template system in. So here's my basic car, here are the other ones, and boom, off we go.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun as well. I can see this. And low poly wise, I mean, I'll just switch back over to the screen again. Let's
actually using three different people's assets. The trees are from Cortanius, and they are fine. The tile map are from E-Raccoon, which are based off of Kenny stuff but done in 3D. And the cars are from Kenny, which means I've had to shuffle a lot of things with each of them. For instance, the trees and the rocks, they weren't normalized. So each tree is 83.65 high.
Right.
Like
interesting scaling.
On the scale. Yeah. So there's a lot of little weird tweaks, but I'm hoping to get the actual, what do you call it? The assets that we provide the course ready to go. And what I'm thinking this time is I'll like walk you through the process of, okay, so here's how you would add the collision to the tree or the rock or the vehicle or whatever you're doing. And you can redo them all from the originals if you want, but if you don't, just download them from here. Like, there's no real point in making you guys go through every asset if you don't need to.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I believe, am I right in saying that all of the assets here are CC0?
They are all CC0.
Which is awesome, because it means that one of the banes of any course production is getting you guys to actually have assets. So any CC0 or even CCBY, we don't care which one it is.
Well, just stuff that you can legally use, really.
Yeah, and distribute. That's the key.
The edge walls, Mikey.
The red barrier. Boom.
The red barrier that you can only see the red when you're close enough.
Yeah. I wondered what it was out of the corner of my eye when I was racing earlier.
Yeah, that's one issue. I mean, I should really make the barrier a hemisphere.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it's just straight lines at the moment. So this lake at the back, is there plans for a boat race as well?
I mean, we could get boat assets as well. We're not getting boat assets as well.
Sorry, I'm putting Yann on the spot here.
No, there are no plans of this kind because you said small course. It's scope creep.
Yes. Can I hear scope creep? When I say scope, you say creep. Scope.
No. Yeah, we could remake Love Boat.
Pardon?
Roderick says Love Boat.
Love boats. I was like, well, what? What game's that? I've never played Love Boat before. Yeah, boats would be an interesting thing. Perhaps we can work our way through all vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of stuff I like with this. Like, in fact, Mikey, if you take a look at the code real quick.
Yeah, bear with me. The real quick's going to take a few seconds. Just going to open it back up again.
Because one of the things I want to look at is easy ways to do local multiplayer with split screen and shared controls.
Yeah.
But if you open any of the racers scripts, because they're all one script, once you're there, I'll take a look at your screen so I can see it.
That's fine. So you should be able to see my screen, and I'll make sure everybody else can see it as well. So what are we looking for in here? A script called Racer?
Yep, open Racer GD. Great. And go down to physics process. And okay. That, under physics process, those, if, hang on, I can't actually see your Discord because it's a little fuzzy on my side.
If linear velocity dot length, that one?
Yeah, that is the entire player control.
It's nice, isn't it? That's so simple.
Yeah. Just 5 lines of code.
Nice.
For the backy forwardy bits. The lefty righty bits are 25 through 27.
These ones here, yeah. So simple.
So just ways so explaining why we're doing it this way and why it's scalable and going from there.
Nice. Let's bring us back. Boom. Hey,
bring us back.
Bring us back. Awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited at the direction this can take. It will obviously be small at the moment. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Yann. Sorry, but I can see it being a question. How big a course will it end up being? So
about 18 inches.
Okay, that's fair enough. So a medium-sized course.
We're not talking about a big, like, 40 to 60 hour how to use the engine from start to finish.
No, not at all.
But I do want to spend some time on the why of doing it this way. Like, why we do it this way, other ways you could do this. This is very much designed with 2, 3, or 4 people crammed around the same keyboard, getting in each other's way, trying to race something. Like, that is the impulse we're going for.
Definitely.
And there's a lot of things you could do that. Now, if you've got multiple controllers, and Mikey was asking me minutes before the stream went up, can we set this up for controllers? Like, yeah, if you want to do it right now, go for it. It's actually not that difficult, but
no.
But there's a lot of things you can learn here for other games. I mean, if you're doing like a Bomberman clone or something like that, anything you want split screening, anything you have multiple players on one keyboard, that's what we're looking for. Plus, there's some more. When we did Got a Getaway, all the cars had the same stats.
Yeah.
Right? They all have it the same way. There's a police car and there's the cop car. You can change the color, but they're effectively the same car with a different mesh.
Yeah.
One has a wooby light, and one has a. But yeah, but they're effectively the same car. Here, each car has a different weight, different max speed, different throttle, and different health.
And they feel different.
And they have different suspension. They all share the same steering, but they're actually all different vehicles.
So is it fair to say, with the controls being stuck under the physics process, that this is how you go ahead and set up a controller when it's a physics-based game?
It is, if I understand your question, which I'm not sure I do.
I'm great at asking woolly questions. But we're using the physics system to drive, quite literally, rather than...
Okay, so this was originally going to be a 2D course, and most of the time when people make top-down races in 2D, they'll use... Sorry?
Scope creep.
Well, no. I did want to do another tutorial on kinematic body. That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And kinematic body is fine, but kinematic body is designed for characters, not for vehicles. I mean, in the documentation, it specifically says if you're using a vehicle, you'll probably want to use a rigid body because you're not directly controlling the car. You're giving it inputs like engine and steering, and it's calculating it for you. You're not saying move this many pixels that way. But then when I started doing it, it was a little bit sliding, all the rest of it. I thought, well, in 3D, we have access to vehicle body, which is a special rigid body, which simulates cars. So we'll just do that.
Yeah, it makes sense using the tools that are already available for you or to you. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I really like how that's come together. I'm looking forward to seeing how it progresses as well. It'll be a phenomenal game.
Yep. And before we launch the course, I do want to put the little demo up on itch so people can play it.
Would it be fair to say that between between now and Godot 4 being released, it's unlikely we're going to focus on a big Godot course because of the impending nature of having to redo such a large course. So on the Godot front, we will be looking at more along the lines of smaller courses like this for the time being. So
that it would be fair to say. It would even be fair to sing it.
I can't remember what it was now. So yeah,
but we still have a good name for it.
Yeah. So if you guys have any names, or you know, it doesn't have any breaks at the moment, so we might play on that.
Yeah.
On the Blender front, I've started some production on the new upcoming Blender course. The first section is basically going to be a free section, and I'm hoping that will be released in the first week of December. It'll be free for everybody.
And we were going to talk about something today, so I'm going to talk to you about it now. We could redo the assets for Mag Racer.
Yes. So in terms of the...
You said talk to me about it today, so I am.
You put me on the spot on a live stream. How
your
could
turn.
you?
Don't break the car. I love how Mag Racer looks too big, Amy. You're right. We're going to talk about Mag Racer in a minute because we've got some good news for that.
Yeah. I'm looking at Don't Break the Car.
Don't break the car.
Yeah, and another big bit of news will be some of you will be aware that I've been working with Penny DeBell on a procedurally generated maze / dungeon crawler, I suppose you'd call it. Absolutely loved actually putting all the assets together and working with that. That's going to be released very shortly, and we'll give you more news once that's actually released. You know, give a shout out to it and everything. So that's really cool. Loved seeing a couple of pieces. I think there are 6 pieces in the first bit where we make some modular rooms, and then just seeing click and it just generating an entire maze from it. So that was
fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember we doing Got a Getaway, and I made a special camera to watch the city generation. Like I slowed it down so you could actually see it, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's freaky at the same time, but you're just like, how is it doing that? I typed some numbers and letters in, and now it magically creates something.
It's weird, isn't it? Even when you know how you did it, it's how did I do it? So yeah, Blender course, he's starting doing some things. That's exciting.
Yeah. So nice segue into Mag Racer then. So Yann was asking a moment ago whether or not or redoing the assets, and we think that would be a great start for the upcoming Patreon for Mag Racer, being able to have
which we're about to announce. But yes, that was the worst announcing of a Patreon I've ever seen. We are launching a Patreon for the Mag Racer, so let's just talk about that real quick. The idea is we're going to work on Mag Racer as a company a few hours a week. Because we can't prioritize that as our main thing and teach at the same time.
Unless the Patreon goes bananas, of course. Then.
But the bigger the Patreon is, the more we can justify working on Mag Racer. That's what it's for, right? If there's no money in the Patreon, we can afford a couple of hours a week. If it starts getting crazy big, we can start putting crazy big hours in.
Totally.
But we have a Patreon. I'm going to link it to the thing. It's linked to the doobly-doo. We could take a look at it. Mikey, would you like to take a look at it?
I can do, yes. Patreon.com, Canopy Games.
But effectively, even if you just do, the very lowest thing is, we want to give you some money because we believe in the project. We don't have, a great deal of cash right now, or this. Yeah, there we go. You want to go to page, and you want to go to view page, and you want to go to view as thingamy.
Of course.
I can't see on Discord.
Okay. Of course, Yann's been popping this together, so Is this what we need to look at?
Yes, you want to view it as...
Yeah, I'm a genius.
View your public page. So go to page.
Page.
Go to view page. Go to view public page at the top.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Brilliant. So yeah, do you want to walk us through this, Yann? And I'll do the scrolling.
Okay. The idea is, if you want to support the project and throw a little cash our way, we really appreciate it. It'll help us a lot. The lowest is just for £3. We believe in what you do. £3 plus sales tax, and if your sales tax is in your region. This is charged once a month. So all of these will be charged on the first of the month. So if you sign up now, no money comes out until the first of the month. We don't get your money until then. But for the third one, it's just, yep, thank you very much. I like looking at this project. At £5, or your regional equivalent, what we're looking at is the Racing Fan, which is you get access to a special channel on Discord and a special role on Discord, and you'll get first pieces of news as we do things on Mag Racer. So as things happen, we'll post them first on Mag Racer. We'll also have a no, I've already said about the Discord channel.
Yeah. Of course, we'll also post the updates directly onto Patreon as well as the locked Patreon channel within the Discord. It gives people a couple of options depending on what they prefer to, how they prefer to engage with it.
You'll get the exclusive ones if you're subscribing, but if you just want to see what we're doing, we'll also have some public ones.
Yeah.
The next one up is the Mag Racer, which is exactly the same as the Racing Fan. Plus, you also get early access to the latest builds. So everyone else will be a few builds behind what the latest is. So this is the cutting edge, the hot code, bugs and all. And you can start getting access to feature votes. So later on, we start asking, do you want us to prioritize this or that? Would you prefer to see this, that, or the other? We'll be asking you guys for your input.
Sounds
and then
good.
we get to the Elite Mag Racer, blah, blah, blah. This is a bigger thing, and for this, you start getting behind-the-scenes content. So things like, if Mikey decides this week he's going to remake the Mag Racers because there's some hidden geometry in there, some of the UV doesn't quite work, a couple of them have much higher poly counts than we want them to, he could do like a speedrun video of that happening, or I could show you like level creation, little things like that, just so you can see the development live. Not live, you can see the development behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then finally the Team Owner, which is our sort of big super thing, which is the same as the previous one, plus you get private live streams and you get exclusive merch. So every quarter, so every 3 months, you'll get a new piece of merchandise, starting with a sticker and then working up through the mugs and the t-shirts and the hoodies. And I'm quite proud of the sticker. The sticker looks really cool. Would you like to see the sticker, Mikey?
I would love to see the sticker. Can I see it through?
No. That is the annoying thing. But I can send you this.
Hold on a moment.
In Discord.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Cool, I can make that full screen as well.
Mm-hmm. I think I can show you the other things too, if I can get some.
There we go.
So
I love how that turned out as a sticker.
It really came across nicely, didn't it?
Of all the ships, that one just looks the best.
Yeah, it just looks really cartoony and awesome. We've also got the mug.
The mug. Okay, so I'll open up that in a second.
Shouting at me.
Open. Here we go. So, yep, Mag Racer.
This thing. Did that paste?
Let's come off of there.
Yep.
Oh, I've already opened that. We've seen that, Mike. They want to say, oh, the t-shirt. Nice.
T-shirt.
I've not seen the t-shirt yet.
And then after 12 months, you get access to the hoodie. Dum, dum, dum. And that's just, when you sign up for this one, you give your mailing address, and after 3 months, it'll start sending you these rewards.
Nice. So I don't know, a black hoodie on a black background. Sorry for that, folks. It might be a bit hard to see. So we could call it the stealth hoodie or something along those lines.
It's fine.
Nice. I like that a lot.
So yeah, we're really excited about it. We've been speaking to Nua, who are really interested in doing some sound for us. We need to finalize that. Bass is still working on the AI behind the scenes. Like, we've got some great places for Mag Race to be going. So if this is something you're interested in as an indie game and you want to see it develop, this is a great way of supporting that and getting us to make something really cool and awesome. And if you would rather we just focus on courses, you don't have to support it, and that's fine.
Yes, and we'd really appreciate any feedback, whether or not you're excited about it yourselves or not excited, and why you're not excited about it. Because obviously we want to be as open as possible. We want it to include as many people as possible as well.
Roderick broke.
Mug Racer.
Oh.
Okay, bad puns. We have a winner.
Chapeau, as they say in France. Hats off.
Such a tease. We try our best. Yeah, so I really want to get in my teeth into Mag Racer in terms of redoing those assets. So look out for I might bite the bullet and do a live stream on it. So I don't know when that will be.
I mean, so the idea is we can do some live streams like this dedicated to Mag Racer or whatever else we're doing, but there'll also be private live streams just for people who want to see live coding or level testing or whatever we're doing at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll probably be live development, but we're giving ourselves the options so that we could show people other stuff as well.
Yes. So it will be a mixture of things from coding to asset generation to maybe even playing with a bit of music as well, depending on how much newer want to come on board with the audio stuff. They seem really excited about it, and I'm really looking forward if they come on board like that.
Agreed.
A Twitch live stream would be good. Yep. There's a mix. So I get mixed messages about Twitch versus YouTube in terms of live streams. I'm used to using both of them now, and I don't really care which one I'm using. And Twitch does seem to be a bit better and a bit more stable when it comes to actually doing a live stream. So, yeah, maybe I stream to both platforms. I mean, we don't even have a Twitch account at the moment, so I could do I could set us up a Twitch account and then stream to both platforms, and it won't matter because we're not an affiliate or whatever they call it.
No, and we can even link to Twitch on our Patreon, so that's even easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to get that out there. We'll start linking the Patreon to on any Mag Racer videos we make from now on, and any posts we make and stuff like that. But,
yeah. That'd be nice.
So that was a day's worth of putting Patreon together.
Yeah, I mean it's completely new to us as well. We're not quite flying blind because we know what we want to do. But yeah, Patreon's completely new to us, so forgive us for mistakes. Please.
I like how I just got an update saying that Canopy Games is live. I know.
Yeah, Twitch tend to be a bit better at that. So that's one of the key things about YouTube versus Twitch. YouTube seems to just send out a notification when it feels like it, which when it's a live stream is a bit well, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? Because there's this thing with live streaming where you don't generally get the peak viewership until maybe some people are saying like 6 hours into a stream, but I think that's if you're playing a game. But your peak viewership
6 hours into a stream.
Yeah, I know.
How many hours we're supposed to be doing this for?
Crazy. So I could just switch my camera on in the morning, and you can watch me drink coffee, have lunch, do Blender.
Yeah, just switch on those security cams you've got all around the inside of your house for no reason.
It proves useful when you've got 7 kids saying, they did it.
Fair.
So yeah, I think a live stream would be great for that, and I don't know how it would go in terms of notifications and everything. It is a pain in the backside when you want people to join, and when we do a live stream like this, we just start into it straight away. There's not the big waffle, and I've watched quite a few live streams now to try and get a feeling of how they work, and there seems to be a good chunk of time, maybe 15 minutes to half an hour of just saying hello to people, how you doing, and answering general questions before getting into the meat of the stream. So it's just one of those things. At least we're regular at the moment. It's 7 p.m. GMT every Monday at the moment here. So I think that regularity
we're not
helps.
Always great at letting people know in advance.
Oh, I let people know in advance today. 5 minutes.
You said 5 minutes and it was 9 minutes, which is even more confusing. Yeah. But the advantage of things like a Patreon stream is that if we keep that private for patrons, you still get access to it even if it's not live.
Yeah.
And even if you become a patron at that level later, you can go back and see it.
I mean, one of the big things with the live stream is being able to interact with us and ask questions. Now, if we've got our head down and doing something, we're not always going to answer it immediately, but it enables that to and fro, that discussion on whatever topic we're doing at the time.
I would actually say it's twofold. It's that live interaction, but it's also the peek behind the scenes. So it's watching the development process, seeing how someone builds. That in itself is fascinating.
Yeah, it's likely that if a live stream has some really good nuggets of information in it, we'll be able, whether it's private or not, we'll chop it up into a nice, compact 2-3 minute video if we can as well. That it takes a lot of editing overhead to do something like that, so it has to be something that is really exciting and worthwhile showing off. Otherwise, it would be quicker to just record a fresh take on that version, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move you down here so I'm not looking up there. That's okay. I can see you now. You're here. And I'm looking the wrong way. I'm going to do something to sort that out because I am a genius and I can go flip. Now I'm looking at you when I'm watching you over here, which is awesome. Sorry.
I think you're the only person who actually noticed the difference there. So that was some great TV.
Bum, bum, bum. Well, I'm like that, unfortunately. I noticed loads of little things. Poor me.
But yeah, I mean, I did actually think about doing a boat game, maybe a boat racing game, but probably just like a pirate shooty game.
There was a game on iOS when I had my iPhone 3GS, so we're going back a few years, and that had a pirate game, and it wasn't anything special, but you were constantly going forward, and you didn't have to worry about the wind or anything along those lines, but you did do the whole arcing and making sure your broadside is facing where you wanted to attack, and that was so much fun. I mean, we are going back like a decade, but yeah, those sorts of games are great.
Yep. Hello, Ezrael. So
Hello.
Yeah, I'm quite excited by the little racy game thing. Do you want to show that again?
Yes,
I like that.
yeah, yes, I will. Just give me
I want to see
moment.
if you can make 3 laps without exploding on the racer.
On the racer. Okay, I don't think that's possible, but I will give it a go.
And I'm going to link the Patreon again because I'm a little teapot.
Oh, I've covered up my screen. I'm a genius. So let's move this back over there so you're out of the way. Okay, brilliant. So if I switch the screen over to this and then do that so Yann can see as well. So this is the little game that Yann's been working on at the moment.
Still need a name.
Still need a name.
Low Poly Racer is the best I've got at the moment.
So it's a split screen.
Yeah, he's changing those by pressing 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment.
Yep.
I will put in an ability to select how many players are playing.
Yep, that'll be awesome. 1 of 3 at the top, is that a placeholder for... That's the lap I'm on, isn't it?
That's the lap you're on. It's not a placeholder at all.
Aha, I've just not completed the lap yet. I wondered why they all said the same thing. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this car is incredibly quick.
Yeah, has a very high top speed.
And is very weak in terms of a car.
Very fragile. Well, I wanted to give it a reason that not everyone would pick this car. Like, otherwise, especially if we make it so that only one person could pick each car, which I haven't decided yet, then whoever picks it just wins. Unless there's a reason not to, because Mikey's about to die.
Well, I did not realise that all the racers would still be there.
Yeah, because they're still there. You just disabled the cameras.
Yep. So all of you lots, can you just get out of the way? Move, tractor, get out the way. Move, fire engine, get out the way. And move, police car. Right. So I've got what health left?
Big Gaming, you are right. They are. And I wanted to do that. And then I realised that this font I'm using by Kenny doesn't have / in it. So it just said lap 13 instead of lap 1 out of 3. Mag Racer Junior. I can't believe it's not a Mag Racer. I mean, we're not actually Mag Racer.
We have a pit system, so if you stopped in the pits, you can regenerate.
I mean, you don't have to stop. You could just drive through it. But...
Yeah, if you want full health, you're going to have to stop.
Right? So if someone else is in the fire engine and going very, very slowly around the course, and you're having to stop every lap just to not die...
It sounds like the tortoise and hare scenario, really.
Exactly what I was thinking. I've also left boxes in the middle there for no reasons.
I like this a lot.
It's fun, isn't it? It's each vehicle feels very different.
Oh yeah, dramatically so. I mean, there we go. So where's the finish line here? Beep. Yes, I'm on lap 4 out of 3. Does that end the game? That does end the game. I'm going to restart here. So one of the things about all of these different cars, as Yann was saying, is they all feel completely different. So the fire engine is really, really heavy, and because it's really, really heavy, it holds the corner. So if I do this, so I can see more, it holds the corners. So I think my favourite vehicle, because of the strength of this, even though it doesn't have the highest top speed, but this is really easy to drive. I find it the most...
Red gradient that appeared in the left, that is the edge of the world, which is also a song by Faith No More from the 90s. If you get too close to the edge of the world, it stops being invisible, starts going red. I'm currently just using a red material to show that right now, but we can change that for something else. As it gets quite close to the track in a couple of places, you do see it. But it was just, I found if there was an invisible wall, you didn't actually have a feeling or a sense of how much you could drive out. Because in theory, you can just drive between the trees. Like, you can cut here after the finish line and make a little shortcut. But you might not save as much time as you think you're going to save.
No, the curbs are not very forgiving at all.
Neither are the trees.
So if you try and drive off track, you're not going to get anywhere.
Like, the tractor is fine with it.
Yes. Oh, no, I'm stuck in a tree. So, yes, tractor is these keys. So this feels very, very slow.
It is very slow, but it's also, like, I doubt very much you're going to need to repair this. Ever.
Oh, do these cars have physics on them?
Yes, but static. But it is technically physics.
I can't go ahead and ram them then.
No, I mean, I can make them rigid bodies if you prefer.
I think anything movable like that would be fun if you could knock it over. Maybe some cones on the track and other things like that. I mean, we've got the boxes, haven't we? Let's drive round and absolutely nail these boxes. In fact, we can do that with this car.
Yep.
Whee! So yeah, I mean, that would create a completely different feeling for a game, having all the debris in here as well. Oh, ow. Wow, that is very, very rough if you go off the track. But very rewarding if you stay on the track.
Yep. Plus, there's always the humour of flying. Like so. And your wheels are about to fall off.
Yeah, there we go. So wheels have fallen off. So if we go up with the fire engine, we'll be able to see.
You can still push them out the way.
We'll be able to see the fact that there's no wheels there. There we go. So that's that sort of like the death pose. It'd be amazing if the wheels, instead of just disappeared, flew off the car. That'd be comical.
About that, we'd have to spawn some in, which is doable. I also thought about clearing the car out the way, but I think there's something about, in a local multiplayer game, you can see everyone else's screen, so your car being there not moving is not the end of the world. But
yeah,
you've actually become a hazard.
Oh yeah,
it's a
totally.
really convenient place to leave a car. I mean, that is some selfish parking, Mikey.
Okay, I'm turning this very quickly into Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, that's kind of, the Demolition Derby was built into this game. That's why I put the health system in. I do want to put in some more obstacles in the road, like traffic cones and things. I did think about ramps, but I don't know. If you don't go through the checkpoint, by the way, you can't make the lap.
I was just seeing if I could fit through the trees. The answer, by the way, was no. No, I can't.
Not in this car. Because the collision is actually set to each mesh properly.
Yeah, this thing's pretty much indestructible. Apart from the fact it's not, but it's very hard to destroy it anyway.
Yep.
I like it. Oh. Anyway, so yes, this is what Yann has been working on.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks and plays awesome. Let's bring everybody back. Hey!
Yay!
Yeah, so we've got lots on the cards at the moment. This will be what do you reckon timescales? I'm not going to obviously hold
You
you
know,
to any of it, but
you asked me that same question in 3 different ways, and I still don't have the answer to
ah,
it. How big a course? How long will it be? What do you think about timescales? I don't know. About the length of a piece of string.
nice. Twice the length of half of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's longer than Zoo Blocks, shorter than Discovering Godot.
Yeah,
Like, best I
somewhere
can
in
do.
between. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
I mean,
course.
right now I've been making the prototype and trying to get it as sleek as possible so that when we're teaching it, it's just plug in and go.
Yeah.
And I've got to redo some of the assets so that they're just here, download them and they'll work. So I haven't yet got to the point where I'm making the curriculum. So it's very hard to answer that question.
That's absolutely fair enough. We know as anything, when you've created something, the process of teaching it is not the same as creating it. It's always different.
And it's difficult for me as well because Mikey and I both do this, right? We want to teach something we enjoy making, which means scope creep kicks in. Like I found myself thinking, how many tracks do I want to make? And the answer is one, it's a course. Like,
Happens so often.
yeah. Once you know how to make one course, making a second one is not difficult, right? And okay, so in theory, there's something you could do with putting in a level selection, but if you're putting in character selection, which you're doing anyway, that's the same process. It's just changing that bit rather than this bit. So there's a lot of like, is it really worth going through every vehicle? And I think it is, because that richness is part of the gameplay, and that's what I want to teach, like that part of the game design.
Yeah.
But in theory, I could just do this with 1 or 2 vehicles.
Yeah, and when it comes to a course in general, you always run into the fact that, yes, you're doing the same thing again, but it's also good if you're new to something, that repetitiveness of doing a certain action, whether it's setting up different races, or if you're in Blender, if it's doing the same process again but in a different way, that just helps reinforce the knowledge. Unfortunately, it can, if you're a little bit more experienced, kind of make it feel like it's dragging on a little, because you get the sort of, yeah, I know how to do this, can we move on? But that's the nature of online learning. You know, it's one of the downsides, that it's difficult to have that one-to-one feedback of a tutor or teacher saying to you, you know what, you're already at this level, you've nailed that, cool, move on to this particular part. It's very hard
And
to
there's a lot
curate
of
a journey like that.
There's a lot of fiddly little things, especially with things like level design, that's going to be different for everybody. There's not really much benefit in watching me do the same thing 8 times. Like, once I've made a level, that's how you make a level. Here's some of the questions you want to ask yourself. Here's, okay, I've made these curves. What is actually stopping anyone in a heavy vehicle just cutting around this corner? Trees. We're going to put a bunch of trees in it. Here's an easy way of doing it. So the reason you couldn't cut across the corner was specifically, I put trees in that are too low for the fire engine.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the fire engine is at a massive advantage each time. Because once you learn that corner, you never have to take the road again. So fine. You could probably get through the trees if you really tried, but you probably won't get through it fast, and you'll take a bunch of damage.
Challenge accepted.
By all means. I'm glad you like the rewards, Azrael. Do feel free to ask us if you have any questions.
Yep. Or feedback if there's anything you think might be missing. We were saying earlier, I think it was just before you joined, is that we're new to this, so we think we've got the right levels in terms of both rewards, and what we would offer for those reward levels as well. So, I mean, fingers crossed, it's something that could grow and support the development of Mag Racer. We both still love Mag Racer, and we
do. And in fact, we were talking just before the stream about, we want to put a special page up on our site, just for the Mag Racer project, so you can actually see what the sticker looks like. You can see what the progress is. You can get a link to the Patreon. You can see what the T-shirt looks like, because they're quite nice pieces. They're high quality things.
It's a way we're basically trying to find a way of making Mag Racer a reality, whilst also sustaining ourselves at the same time.
And Roderick, you're quite right. People do watch people like just do fiddly level design for hours at a time, but not as a paid course.
No.
If you're taking a course on how to make it, you probably want, okay, show me the process, show me the information, don't repeat the content. If you want to watch a live stream, it's what's the reality of doing this on a day-to-day level,
Yeah.
which is a sort of different impulse.
I mean, during a course, I have occasionally done that. I'll say to people, I'll either give two options. Like in the next video, I'll do a long play. You know, this is me doing a real live thing. I'll put some background music in there, and it will be a 40-minute video. It won't contain any edited or curated content. It'll just be me, raw and real. But during a course, that you need to really highlight the fact that this is an optional video. It's going to show you real life workflow, and you can't really skip through that as easy as you can just going, well, I know about extruding next. Because often a live thing like that will use pretty much all of the tools an instructor has at the time.
Yeah. Would you like to see something I'm quite keen to put into the thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen with you.
Let me make you full screen. There we go.
Okay, there's my screen. Great.
Nice.
Okay, so car models. La 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 la. Oh, Kenny, why'd you hide it all the way over here?
Police tractor.
I mean, that's pretty good. What else we got? We got this doohickey. Sure. I mean, that's a pickup truck to me, but okay.
Perhaps
in theory, we could change the wheels. I don't really want to.
I mean, that looks more like one of those vehicles that tows planes around. I don't know if that.
Yep.
I like that car. That's a neat one.
What are we doing down here? There's an SUV. There's another SUV. We've got sedan. We've got another race car.
Oh, nice.
So we've got two models here.
So the race car and I think we could up the top speed and how quick these cars are and make it like a real F1 car would be. So the other day, YouTube and its wonderful algorithm gave me a video, and it was a static camera on a race, and it showed the difference on this course of like a touring car going past, a high-end touring car or something along those lines, and an F1 car. And the touring car would go along, and it would go woo down the chicane or whatever it was, and F1 car would come along, and it would just be like, whoo, and it'd be gone. And I was like, whoa! So maybe we can in this game make the F1 type car very, very fast, very, very agile, but you have to have a very, very high skill ceiling to use it.
I mean, it kind of has, but if you want to go higher on that,
yeah.
Where I'm looking here,
take me higher.
Well, in fact, I'll do it now. Okay, so our max speed is 30. Let's go to 60 with a max health of 25. This is a
now
bad
that's
idea.
60 meters per second, isn't it?
Oh, hang on, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
Is that 60 meters per second?
It's slightly arbitrary, but
okay. So that's about 140 miles an hour.
Okay, bear in mind, I wrote this, so I'm still not hit top speed yet, but I can't make the first corner. Yeah. So let's try. Hang on.
More steering authority, more acceleration.
Oh no, they're not doing that.
Everything. More everything. Give me more.
Instead, let's do this.
Throttle? Oh, what are you timesing it by? Just 2. Is that like 320,000 newtons of force? That'd be...
Multiplied by delta, so who knows? Oh, hang on. Discord is misbehaving. Come on, Discord. There we go. Great. Okay.
Oh, that's quick. Go on, Yann. Oh.
I mean, good luck holding the accelerator while you steer.
Just like in real life. And no.
So there's a trade-off. How realistic do you want to make this? Because actually, you're not going to drive a corner that height on an F1 car.
No, not at all. You'd break the entire thing. I wasn't after realism in that sense. Just the the fact that this car could be incredibly quick. Oops.
It could be. I mean, it kind of is anyway. To give you a idea, the maximum speed on the police car is 22, which is linear velocity each frame. The tractor is 15. The racer is 30.
Yeah, so it is significantly faster anyway.
It is significantly faster. But the maximum health on the race car is 50.
Yeah.
On the police car, it's 100. On the tractor, it's 300.
Oh, there's a... Yeah. Okay.
So there are significant differences. But it's interesting, if the race car is less than 50, every bump in the road, like when you're just bouncing down like that, becomes incredibly dangerous. So if you hit the curb, you don't just hit it once. You hit it, and then you bounce, and then you hit it, and then you bounce.
And
that's half your health.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Jelly. How you doing?
It's the Jelly.
It's okay. The ping sort of came through randomly at half an hour after the stream. I'm pretty sure that I haven't even got a ping yet. No, I haven't got a ping myself for this.
While you're here, I will share this so that we have more things to look at. Here is our new Patreon, Jelly. Here is our new Jelly Patreon. But yeah, I'm really excited about the little course. I think it's very fun. I think there's a lot to it. There's something exciting about getting those vehicles to feel just right. Like at the moment, I think the tractor actually needs to be heavier. It's quite easy to flip the tractor.
Yeah.
But if it's heavier, I need to up the throttle.
Yeah.
Because it's actually simulating the force there. So if the throttle isn't high enough and the vehicle is too heavy, it's not going anywhere.
It will just sit
there. But once
that
tractor hits its top speed, which is lower than everything else, once it hits it, it should be unstoppable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and of course,
think of a couple of things.
I mean, I love playing these beginnings, these real raw beginnings of a game, because you can see how it can take off in many different directions from this point. Yes, at the moment we've got it in a racetrack, but there's no reason why you can combine with the stuff that you've learnt over on Godot Getaway and actually have the same thing but in a city.
Yeah. I mean, you could procedure generate this. I actually did think about that briefly. But it's something we've done reasonably recently. Yeah. There's no reason you couldn't do this as a boat course. So we start putting in the sort of physics we did with Mag Racer, which we don't currently have in this, but there's no reason why you couldn't. You could take the grid map parts of the water and just say, this is, when you're over this, that's how you're going. But yeah, it's highly doable. Oh, there's no rush on the Patreon. It's just people were wanting to support the project. So here is a way people can do that.
Yeah, and
we appreciate it forward. Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. You're going to be inundated with Black Friday sales, which are a thing even in the UK, even though we don't have Thanksgiving because it didn't happen here. There's a pandemic. Like, we get it. We're going to welcome any and all support in any form we can get, including, you guys are great.
Yeah. Nothing quite like that affirmation. But yeah, as always, when it comes to those sorts of things, yeah. And when it comes to those sorts of things, it's just getting the word out there is one of the biggest things that anybody could do for us at the moment, in terms of anything and everything. To be quite honest, obviously we shout as loud as we can, without being annoying. We're not very good. We know we're not very good at not necessarily at the marketing, but at things like the social media and things like that. But I'm one who doesn't like seeing people post about the same things repeatedly. But it's kind of what you also have to do a lot of the time in order to market anything, including yourselves. So and I've got this thing about adverts. I completely zone out. My partner and I were watching, Karina and I were watching The West Wing. I've started watching The West Wing, only a few years late. And the adverts come on, and I've completely blanked it out. And she was like, "Oh, did you see that?" And I'm like, "See what?"
Yep. He's got an ad blocker in his brain.
It doesn't help. It also doesn't help me when I'm supposed to be writing an ad.
Yep. But yeah, the other thing we're going to do is we'll make all of the behind the scenes videos and the private live streams. Those will be available to people at those tiers and recorded, so you can go back and look at the previous ones.
Yeah.
So if you up your pledge later, you can go back and look at them.
Yeah. That
I'm
we
losing
have.
internet.
That's fine. You've come back then. So we'll get the prototype of the game that we've just shown. The racer game. We don't have a name for it yet. We'll come up with a name soon. Please give us a shout out if you've got a name suggestion. But we'll get that up on itch.io soon so people can play with it and give feedback. As always, it's one of the best things you can get is feedback.
And the bit I'm waiting on now, we have, an end condition, which is freeze the game, this person won. But I want to make that a little bit fancier. And I also want to put in a player selection. So you can say how many people are playing, but then pick the car you want. And I might make it so only one person could be each car, and then have a bunch of cars you can pick. So there are 2 races. So if you want to be a racer, you can be. There's some cars with similar stats, but you can actually see the stats as little bars. So you can see how fragile it is, how heavy it is, how fast it is.
Yeah, I think that's a really good trade-off between the vehicles. I mean, you might be able to have like 3 main vehicles: a fast but fragile, and then a medium but mediocre, and then a slow but strong. Mm-hmm. See what I did there? I'm so proud of myself.
I'm also just to see how people play multiplayer, like what that experience is, because I can't test that because the cats don't want to play. But I'd love to hear from people who have 2, 3, or 4 people playing on the same keyboard.
I'm going to totally grab my laptop and... Well, no, I'm not going to grab my laptop. I'm going to grab my laptop and then a different keyboard so the kids can play. I don't trust them with my laptop keyboard. That's something that can't...
Put it on one of their computers.
Yeah. I'll pop it on and see who wins. Oh, 4 children around the key. Oh, that's going to be noisy. Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes. Nice. So have you guys got any questions? And this is what I was saying about earlier. Over the course of... I'm just looking at the slope of people watching. It's doubled... And it's pretty linear. The viewership's kind of doubled. And yes, I know there's not a ton of people on the stream.
Well, it's also because YouTube is still letting people know we're live.
Yes. And I think that's the thing. It's just people catching up different time zones. And the notification system on YouTube is a bit rubbish. So maybe, Twitch for some of the live streams would be good. Maybe multi-platform. Who knows? We're new to it, and I've got no preference whether or not it's YouTube or Twitch.
Please note, I have no plans to make this online multiplayer. That was a lot of work for God, I Guess Away. That was a very big course. This is a small course for fun, local multiplayer.
Yeah.
I will show you how to do it for controller. It's easy, but everything else, no. I mean, in theory, I could actually have 2 people on one controller.
With each stick, yeah?
Yeah, all the buttons and the thing. But then you've got the pulling the controller from each other.
Can't you have forward, left and right, forward, left and right, forward, left and right, forward, left and right?
Okay, now we can imagine that there's 4 people's hands on that.
Yeah.
And someone's going to hold it, right?
Yeah.
8 hands on that controller. Where are they going to fit? And bear in mind, we're supposed to be social distancing right now.
Not within the family.
Yep.
Yeah, but having... There was a game I played a few years back. I think it was called Two Brothers. And that was an interesting co-op game that you had to... It was a 2-player game, but it was where you had to help each other. And I think that was one controller, if I remember correctly.
What options do you have with multiplayer in Godot? You have quite a few. There's third-party server software with Nakama? I forget the name of it. You can write your own. You've got high-end and low-end networking available. You can do peer-to-peer. You can get Steam plugins. I say plugins. You can get a Steam module and compile the engine with Steam API.
Yeah.
That is not trivial. I'm not going to be teaching that for a beginner or even intermediate course. Modifying the source code is not a small thing.
Nakama, that's the one itself. That's the one we're trying to do. Yeah, my controller is flipped because I flipped myself. Because when I'm looking at Yann, I'm now facing him on the stream. Otherwise, I'm facing away. It just looks odd. I mean, I could just... No, I can't just flip Yann.
I've had an IM for Canopy Rally for the name. I quite like Canopy Cars.
Oh, yeah.
We could do a cooking game called Canopy Canapes.
Yeah? What's that game we played a few months back, the food one?
It was Overcooked.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. Quite stressful, but a lot of fun.
Quite stressful. I would also be interested in trying the multiplayer for Cook Serve Delicious 2.
Are you now hungry? I'm hungry now.
I am now hungry.
So one of the games I've been playing recently, and I'm absolutely loving, is Cloudpunk. So it came up on the Steam sale. I was like, I've got to give it a try. It looks
really good.
And now I'm super stoked to try out again Magic of Voxel. I couldn't believe that all of the assets in that game were made using Magic of Voxel. I was like, whoa, actually, that is pretty awesome. And ultimately, it's like building up Lego blocks, but the game itself is so atmospheric. It is a bit of... Well, it's a delivery game, so you are just going from point A to point B. But the atmosphere itself is just brilliant, the way that it's all laid out. Yeah. I really love the feel of it. I could just drift around in the city for a while. It's one of those sort of games where you can just go off for a drive in it. A bit like GTA 5, if you really wanted to. You could go off for a drive, but it hasn't got the atmosphere that this game's got.
So I'm just trying to think how to make the car's wheels fly off and roll around. Also, Canopy Jalopy? No.
No.
So one thing we can do with this racing game is Kenny includes a bunch of different wheels. We could have it so you could select wheels and with tires and traction and the rest of it. I think that might be more than we need for a simple 4-player shouting at each other racing game.
I could see that being beneficial if we had maybe you could pick like rally street tires for track, and then maybe have a dirt track, so you have to pick an appropriate tire for the track.
But you can also make it so different tire types have different suspension types.
Yeah.
But for that, we're looking at much more of a campaign game.
Yeah, definitely.
With unlocks and money and all the rest of it. Toucan Races, not bad.
I mean, ultimately, a game like this is something that perhaps we can build on and reiterate in the future as well. If it ends up being something that is incredibly popular, then it has scope to become a much larger course or larger game from that, which is always an option moving forward.
I also need to find some good music for it. Now, when I did my test kart game a little while back, with go-kart races, I had some music for that. I could also bring in the go-kart racer, the little go-kart dude, because that could be another kind of car.
But a really small one.
Really small one, very, very fast, but like 2 hit points.
Oh, no, that wouldn't be fair, because you just get run over in that thing.
You wouldn't even get run over. You'd turn a corner and die.
That's real karting. What are you on about?
Yeah. Toucan Races. Yep, there's some good names there.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm excited to sort of closing everything up. We've got the racing game that we don't have. Toucan Racers, we'll call it that for the moment. We've got a course with Penny DeBell that's coming out soon, and then
got the Blender course coming up. We've got Mag Racer work coming up.
Patreon, yep. So it's going to be a busy end of the year. So I hope you guys enjoy what's coming soon.
Toucan drive, none can break. Toucan enter, none leave.
Okay, we've got a name.
Yep. All right.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. I hope you've had as much fun as we have. And we shall see you again real soon. 1 week from now. No.
Thank you, everybody.
Minus 1 hour from now. See you later. Bye.